So the x value, look at where the x is, corresponded with the 2. Okay, so 2 is going to come next. All right, thank you very much, Amar.
You're welcome.
Okay, so all we're doing is flip-flopping to get the new point. All right, so that's all we have for number 1. That's all you have to do. What questions do you guys have on number 1? Okay, so f of x is the xy point. F inverse of x is yx. Okay, let me double check. Regina is saying that somehow she's getting kicked out. Let me double check, make sure. Doesn't say that anybody is being kicked out. And Regina is here and you have a green check. So I'm not sure, Regina, I'm sorry. All right, and number 2, it says below is the table of f of x. Fill in the table for f inverse. So here we have x, y points. To get to our inverse points, we flip them y comma x so that our new x's become the y's of the old one, and our new y's become the x's of the first one. Okay, so Lizbeth, are you there? Lizbeth? Lizbeth, are you here? Okay. Jordan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. So if I have 0, 3 on my original, how would I write it for my inverse?
1, 6.
So 0, 3 was my first one. So I want to flip-flop those. If I flip-flop those, what do I get?
3, 0.
Yeah, perfect. So I should write 3, 0 in there. Somebody's trying to get back in to the meeting. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. All right. So now, Jordan, you want to go ahead and fill out the rest of the table for me?
Yes.
All right, bring it on.
4, 1.
Perfect.
2, 7.
Well,
7, 2.
yeah,
7, 2.
Perfect. 7, 2.
And 3 and 12, 3.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jordan. So all we do is flip-flop. Okay, so property 1 is just flip-flopping x values and y values. Okay, let's move on to property 2. Okay, and this one is a little bit, well, I won't say it's more complicated. It's just a little bit harder to visualize than the first property. Okay, so property 2 says that the graph of f inverse of x is the graph of f of x reflected across the line y equals x. Okay, so this line y equals x, I'm going to go ahead and highlight. Okay, so y equals x is this dashed line that goes through the origin. Okay, it's got a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. If you look, I go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, all the way up to make this line. So it says in the practice, the graph of to the right shows f of x. Okay, so this right here is f of x, this big solid line. This is on the same graph. Draw f inverse of x. Okay, now there are little points dotted on this. So if you're really good at visualizing, you can say, oh, this one right here is right across. So I could just put this point. Okay, and then maybe this point is right on this vertex right here. I could flip it and put it right here. I know that this one's going to be the same. And I could do that all the way down and create my other line, okay? And that's what, I don't know, that's what a lot of people will do, and that's totally fine. If you don't feel like you can visualize that very well, go ahead and draw yourself a table. So this one will be for f of x, my original. So I'm going to write down my x's and my y's, okay? So on f of x, I have, let's see, I've already written down a couple of points. I'm just going to do maybe 3 points, right? So -1, so if I go down 1, or left 1, down -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I find a point right there. So the point -1, -7 is on my function right here, okay? I could look and see that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 is a point on my graph. So 4, 3 is a point on my original. And then maybe if I go 0, let's see, 0, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have a point right here too. Okay, so 0, -5. So those kind of give me some points that are dispersed across this line. And to find my inverse function, all I have to do is flip-flop all of those. Okay, so I need to flip-flop all those point values. Jamie, are you here?
Yeah.
Jamie? So can you tell me what all of these points will be on the inverse function when I flip them?
-7 and -1.
Yep.
3, 4, and -5 and 0.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I can plot these on my graph, okay? So if I go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm down 1, I should have a point right here on my inverse function. If I go right 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, I should have a point right here on my inverse function. And if I go left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up and down 0, I should have a point right here on my inverse function. So now I've drawn quite a few points. And I can take a straight edge, any straight edge you have. I just happen to have a popsicle stick nearby. And I can draw my line straight through all these points. And this line will be my f inverse of x. Okay, so you can try to visualize it, try to reflect it across yourself. That's totally fine. If you want, you can also just pick some points, put them in a table, and flip them around, then plot them to make sure that you're getting the correct inverse function. So what questions do you guys have about property 2? Does anybody need a minute to copy this down? Okay. If no one needs a minute, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip it over. Okay. We're going to go back to that practice on the front where we're algebraically solving for the function that the inverse has. Okay. Okay, so we're back on the front and we're doing the practice. I'm going to call on some of you to help me figure these out, okay? And we're going to go through it in the step form, just like we have in this box right above. Okay, so Demarian, are you here? Demarian? Okay, Jarrell? Daisy?
Yeah.
All right, Daisy, which one do you want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4?
1.
Okay, we'll do number 1. So what's the very first thing I'm going to do? What's step 1?
rewrite as y equals
Yeah. So what am I gonna write?
y equals 2x minus 7.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Excellent work, Daisy. Ruby, are you here? Ruby? Oh, is Ruby here?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what's step 2 in our process for solving these?
Hold on. What? Oh, you exchange the x and the y.
Yeah, perfect. So how do I do that? What am I going to write?
X equals 2y minus 7.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent work, Ruby. Thank you.
Oh,
You can do algebra, Ruby?
Regina, are you here? Regina? Regina, I feel like you came in, so if you're having mic trouble, just send me a remind message, okay? So I know. Lamaro, are you here? Monica. And Olivia, are you here? I saw you come in. Olivia? Okay, Olivia, if you're having mic trouble, you need to send me a remind message so I know that you're actually here, okay? Let's see, I just called on. All right, Jordan, are you here? Jordan? Jordan, you were here a minute ago and you helped me out and you were so great. Oh, Regina, no, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Regina, if you want to send me what my next step should be to solve for y, do that for me real quick. Jordan, are you here in the meantime? Whew. Okay, Amar. Amar?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I need to solve for y. What should I do first?
Y square 2.
I'm sorry?
Y square 2.
No, we don't want to square anything. Let's deal with this -7. How do I get that -7 away?
7 negative y.
What's the opposite of -7?
7.
+7, yeah. So I'm going to add 7 on both sides. Okay. On the left-hand side, I end up with x plus 7. And then on the right-hand side, I have 2y. Now, Amar, 2 and y are being multiplied right here. What's the opposite of multiplication?
Y.
Well, what's the opposite of multiplying?
Positive.
No. So if I have like 2 times something, what do I do? What's the opposite of that?
I don't know.
Okay, so I have operations. Okay, I have adding and subtracting. Okay, those are opposites. Then we have multiply and divide. And these are opposites. Okay, so these two are opposites and these two are opposites. So I want to divide both sides by 2. Okay, and that's how we would solve for y. So we would get y equals x plus 7 over 2. What questions do you have, Amar?
Nothing.
Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Marquez, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what's the very last step? Step 4?